fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face to disguise my age, showing money that I don't have as words on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living the fake Facebook live dream. If they post a pic of me deeply, but it's pizza and burgers for dinner, you know what I mean. A snapshot of vacations that I got no money to take. Send you one of my sports cars, you know that it's a fake. Got my love loaded up with things that aren't even true. Pretending on Facebook is my thing too. Yeah, 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 yeah.
2,000 friends, which I've never done met. A pic of my lunch is what you gonna get. I had a post of your baby, say it's one darn cute kid. But I lied cause it's ugly, that's called an online fib. I talk about success in my job and the pending promotion, but in reality it's a psych cause I got a demotion.
Only the fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face to disguise my age, showing money that I don't have as words on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living the fake Facebook live dream.
You block me on Facebook without a judge, jury, or trial. I'll be creeping you the next day with a shiny new profile. See a pic of my family? Yeah, we're having a good time. Well, the joke's on you. We have not talked in 8 months or 9. I'll tell you about the weather and the stuff you don't need to know. I'll fake a good illness so the sympathy will grow. I'll ask you to donate to my made-up cause and post selfies on the daily, that ain't breaking no laws. So don't judge the life of the fake Facebook man, pretending to be happy like no one else can. Hey there, families, it's time to gather around your television set, as it's time for KINZ and KLOMP with Mitch Wilson. Local people, local news, local stories, and a bunch of other stuff. It's time for KINZ and KLOMP.
All right.
Hey, we've made it.
we did. We're starting to figure out some of these technical things as we go along.
That's right.
We're not out, talking during the introduction, and we're all set up. So I think we're getting what a little bit better. What do we call it?
More in tune with technology.
More in tune with technology. All right. So
I think so. There's a couple watch parties. I know the pages where which I use. My own personal page, the Mark KINZ, part of KINZ and KLOMP, that page. I started Facebook watch parties. I know people are starting to tune in there. We've also got our brand new YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe, and you'll be able to follow along every time we do go live. It'll just ding, and boom, there you go, and there we are.
All right.
Dive into it. I do believe this is episode number 9. We're getting close to the milestone episode number 10, which will be on Thursday.
Big one.
Yes.
What is the 10th show anniversary gift? What do you give me, a paperweight or what is it, Kinsman?
You know what? I don't know about you, but how about prizes for the viewers? We do have the trivia night coming up on Thursday, which is going to be one heck of a night. We just brought this up in a transition conversation. What if we, KINZ and KLOMP, opened up a trivia night? Would people show up? And, looking at the invitee list of people who are, wanting to attend, it's going to be quite the party. And we do have quite the prize list too there, Jamie. I don't know. We've got the ticker tape.
We have
technology. We've got a ticker tape on the KINZ and KLOMP show now. And those prizes right there, the sponsors include Typers Bait and Tackle. I know Christelle up in Hearst donating two $50 gift certificates for Thursday's show. Elite Geeks in there with three $50 entertainment packs. So that's $150 from Chad Dubanel. Spoiled Rotten, Melissa Lamar. She's got a $100 gift certificate to Spoiled Rotten on the list. Riel Distillery up in Hearst, otherwise known as Loon Vodka. If anybody's had Loon Vodka, they're in the mix. They've actually thrown in a $45 bottle of your choice. So whatever you like, Loon Vodka could be one of their flavored liqueurs. That is also in there. Radical Gardens, $100 gift certificate from Brianna Humphreys. Bermuda Tan, Gail is also in with $120 for a 1-month gold tanning pass. And how about Siva's? Siva's coming in there with the new Burger Planet, a gift certificate to go to the new Burger Planet. Can't miss the big burger on Riverside Drive. $25 for lunch, dinner, something to eat from Siva's.
I think that burger costs thousands of dollars, that big one. But so 7 o'clock Thursday night, trivia, 20 questions about Timmins in the community, win a bunch of stuff.
And the cool part is we have some special guests who are going to maybe chime in and voice some of these questions. So you might see someone taking part in the trivia. And of course, if you know all 20, the top 5 will win prizes. And we've got a lot of prizes. I'm just doing the math here, Jamie. That's $615 in prizes.
Yeah.
We're here. We thought we were giving away, something from my kitchen sink or, one of the drawers of my kitchen somewhere.
Even if you suck at trivia, you may win a prize. But we got a couple comments already. It's Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Thank you very much for joining us. And Paul Sabalj, I got to say, so the opening song
is from Paul.
Yes, is the fake Facebook man. So Paul put that all together. I handed him lyrics and he did the rest of the magic. Like, he produced this song, and you should see him when he gets in his studio and puts a song together. This guy's magic. He's an amazing artist. So thank you, Paul. I love playing that song. He even made me sound okay. Paul sounds amazing. It's difficult.
He used a lot of auto-tune for you?
Oh yeah, I auto-tuned to death, kids. Big
the musical airbrusher, Paul. You're talking about the raw talent of Paul. I know he started to play the accordion at the age of 4. That's how talented Paul is. And I also heard that he picked up how to play these instruments on his own. Now he's, taken some music lessons between now and then, but when you can just pick up a guitar and play the piano. I know he did a bunch of those Facebook Lives back when the pandemic first began. But Paul Sabalj, one of the hidden gems here in the North, and it's great that we have him tied into the KINZ and KLOMP, the podcast.
Okay, so I want to talk about some local stories. Okay. Now, we know 2020, 2021, a lot of negativity going on in the world. But there was something pretty good that happened at the Timmins Metro. Now, when you say Metro, I'm a SoPo guy, South Porcupine. We lost our Metro. When I hear that, I get a little inflamed, right? The veins come out of my head.
Popping out of your forehead right now. I know Metro is a bit of a sour spot in... for you and the folks in SoPo and Porcupine. But Metro and Timmins has a great story that came out. This was actually on the Timmins Facebook page, or the Timmins Ontario Facebook page. Let me just scroll up here. It is from a Barb Burkitts. She is one of the cashiers at the Metro. And I know Barb and all the ladies, all the staffers are tuned in for this story here. So thumbs up to Metro over on Algonquin. This is what the post read. It says, today at work, a lady came through my cash, and this happened over on the weekend. She asked me to let her know when the groceries totaled $29. And as that was all the money that this lady had at the time. When I let her know, she was trying to decide what she really needed and what she didn't need. And then a wonderful man behind her in the line told her to leave all the groceries on the belt and he would pay for all the items. He said that no one should have to decide on what to take and what to leave. The lady was very grateful and then tried to give the gentleman all her money, and he refused to take it. And Barb says, "Thank you, sir, for being so kind. You made her day that day, and mine also." And just such a great story. As the gentleman didn't even want to be recognized, but I thought we could maybe find out if we knew who this gentleman was, if anybody knows this gentleman, we can give him some praise on the KINZ and KLOMP podcast tonight, because that's the city with the heart of gold, and obviously a great story there coming in from Barb.
I'm urging to get in here because it surprises me, because in around like December, close to Christmas, everyone's giving and charitable and happy. Then comes January, all the Christmas bills come in, the Christmas trees falling apart and everyone's grumpy. So it's pretty cool to have a good-willed story in January, which they say is the most depressing month of the year. But check this out. Paul's listening. He says, thank you. Thank you very much, Paul.
Paul, you know what? Paul Sabal's, the guy's a gem. We're gonna get you on the podcast, Paul. We keep saying this, and it's going to happen. We've got an entire year now to plan this there.
That's right. Okay, so you were a little bit busy this week. I know you're going around, and you were going to pick up the gifts for the trivia.
Yes.
So you're busy. But while you were doing that, I believe you were at Spoiled Rotten. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. You ran into a local ice fisherman.
Yes, I was waiting for Melissa Lamarche to get back. She was going to give us the $100 gift card for the trivia for Thursday night. And I ran into it. At first, I thought, I'm like, what the heck is out there on the Matagami River? It just looked like a big black lump of something. And then I realized, I'm like, I don't think that's a guy. I thought someone littered something on the river. So I was here going to go get mad. And then I found out it was a gentleman lying on the ice. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go take a walk, obviously socially distancing myself. I had my mask on. We stayed well apart. But Zebb the fisherman, was taking advantage of a beautiful day yesterday. And here it is.
So here we are. It is a cold day for a Monday. KINZ and KLOMP. It's Mark Kinsman from the KINZ and KLOMP podcast out here enjoying a cold weather day. And I've run into, is it Zebb? Zebb is out here, people complaining how cold it is. Zebb, you're one of our local ice fishermen here in the city, and I just thought I'd come out and have a quick chat, socially distancing ourselves, obviously, for, COVID reasons. Take us through what you're doing here today. What is hot on the Matagami for ice fishing?
Just a jig and a minnow, really. Jig and a minnow, get it down to bottom, a couple inches off bottom.
And I saw that, I saw when I was parking the car here. What is that? Is that a pike or no? That's a weird looking thing. What is that?
This is a burbot or a ling.
Okay. Can you eat those?
Oh yeah, it's the best eating. It's a little small though, but I kind of hooked him hardcore in the throat and had to really rip the hook out. He's bleeding pretty bad, so I'm gonna keep him.
Nice. Nice way to pass the time during COVID and trying to socially distance one another. No one else out here enjoying the north. So there you go. Zebb, do you want to do a shout out to anybody out there watching this podcast today?
A shout out to my mom and dad, shout out to my sister, and shout out to Garrett Harding.
Excellent stuff. And if you get a chance, the KINZ and KLOMP podcast, we're the newest podcast on YouTube. And Zebb, you're a star on today's show.
Cool.
All right, there you go. You met Zebb.
Zebb the fisherman. Yeah, what a cool character. And it was a cool day. And it's amazing. You always hear on the forecast, when people talk about the Timmins forecast, oh, it's so cold. He was out there bare hands into the holes into the ice and running back and forth, doing what we do here in the north to stay busy during, a COVID time. And that's to ice fish. And who knew that ugly looking eel type fish, the ling, is good eating? Anybody eat the ling watching the podcast? Comment what's a good ling recipe? Well,
yeah, I don't eat anything that swims, Kinsman, but good for him. He's enjoying the sport. But hey, you threw me an interesting topic there, and you're like, can pot beat COVID? Well, okay. I really want to know what you were thinking here, whether this is a personal interest of yours or something that you found. But what's going on? Is pot taking down COVID?
Well, don't get too carried away yet. Don't be running to Dutch Love and saying, I need to buy all the pot on the planet. Of course, the Dutch Love on Riverside Drive probably would want to see the big lineups. But here's the story. Pot or cannabis or wacky tobacco, whichever way you call it, could be a fighting force against a COVID-19 strain. Now, before you go buy the pot, here's the story. And it's actually a Canadian twist of the story because 2 Canadian researchers think that a special strain of cannabis might potentially be a valuable tool in the fight against COVID-19. A couple of researchers reportedly been developing and testing against the novel cannabis strain for years. And except with the goal of creating the strain that helps to combat cancer and inflammation, they state that there's now some telltale signs that cannabis could be a fighter when it comes to cannabis. And again, don't be running down to grab all the pot yet because it's still being proven in a science lab. But I can tell you this, though, people who have had COVID-19 with cannabis use have also been less lung inflammation. The pot has actually been proven to lower the inflammation of people's lungs with COVID. So there is a high five out there for cannabis. Just no cures for the COVID-19 strain yet, but when they say it can actually lessen the lung inflammation for people who are battling it, it's a magical tool.
Okay, so what we'll do is, Rick Lemieux was very involved and is going to be very involved with the DARE program. We're going to see if they're going to put that in there. I doubt it, but nonetheless, a great story. Now we got something else. Essential versus non-essential. So we know it's been a tough time for a lot of businesses, especially we know here in Timmins, a lot of local businesses are struggling. Who's deemed essential, who's deemed non-essential. But you were able to pick up an article where a company is sort of bypassing the regulations to open again.
They have twisted it a little bit to where their non-essential business is now considered an essential business, and it was a Toronto barber shop. Don't know, what the barbershop the name is, but it's in just outside in the GTA there. Toronto barbershop opens up, and instead of cutting hair, they're now selling oranges and before you start, opening up all your shops and saying, I'm going to start selling something that's essential in my non-essential place.
Right.
They had two, there's the moral of the story. They had 2 licenses apparently when they first opened. It wasn't a barbershop, but it was a grocery store. So they had the license for the grocery store already in that place or in that zone. And then they said, well, let's cut hair here. So they opened up as a barbershop. To where now they say, you know what, we need to make some money. So instead of cutting hair right now at the moment, they're now selling oranges at the barbershop. Do you think people are going in to get their hair cut and grabbing a
I don't know, man. I guess people are pushed to the limits and they got to get creative to stay open. But look, Brent Woods is telling us a ling equals a freshwater cod. And the ling is AKA burbot?
A burbot? That's what Zebb was calling it.
Okay, well, there we go. I got a question for you.
What's that?
Do you think I'm a clean guy? I mean, around the house. Don't talk about my hygiene's perfect. You know that, Kinsman. But we spend a lot of time in close proximity. But around the house, do you think I would be a clean person or a messy person?
I'm going to say you're more cleaner now that you're paired up with Terry. I'm going to say Terry's the cleaner one of the two. But when Terry's gone, she probably leaves you a list longer than your arm to say, here, Jamie, you need to do this. Jamie, you need to do that. I'm going to say you're on the tad of the messier side. I'm just going to say maybe the messy side or the lazy side when it comes.
I'm glad you challenged me. Check this out.
Okay.
First off, Kinsman, go Sens go. I know you're a big Leaf fan, but nonetheless, I got a question for you. Are you as clean as me around your house? I doubt it. Check this out. I'm always cleaning the dishes. Out of soap. I'll do that later. I'm 46 and my knees are getting bad, but that doesn't stop me from scrubbing the toilet. Forget about it, that's disgusting. I take time out of the day to brush my dog's hair. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Just like me. I make sure to clean my son's room. He doesn't have to do nothing, so when he grows up, I guess he has no life skills. I always make sure my bed looks nice, for it's perfect for that afternoon nap. Hey Google, wake me up at 4 p.m.
Done. Your alarm's set for 4 p.m.
Do you know what this is? It's a vacuum. Now there's too much dog hair in it and it's clogged, so until someone cleans it, I'm not going to use it. But I do use it from time to time. And finally, I make sure all the jackets in the house are hung up beautifully. can you beat that, Kinsman? That is perfection. Not bad, right?
Well done, well done. That's a good video.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so I do like to do comedy once in a while, but that's a good segue to our next guest. Do you know who Rick Lemieux is? Like, I know Rick Lemieux. I know Rick Lemieux. Do you know him?
I know him. We go way back. Obviously, I've been here over a decade now. I knew him when he was Constable Rick, way back when he had that the little puppet Constable Rick, and he did the stories.
Okay, that's it. I know Rick Lemieux.
Obviously, the DARE program.
I have a closer connection than you, Kinsman. You don't know everyone in Timmins. He's my son's teacher. We're fellow comedians. So I think I went up to you here. Anyways, do you want to see, before we bring Rick on, do you want to see a clip of one of his pretty amazing stand-up performances?
Rick in action. Here he is.
And you know what she did? She would use the pregnancy as an excuse to fart and burp in public. Is that normal? It's embarrassing, you know what I mean? It's like, did you do that? You just applauded to that, so you did a little, because she would just like let her like just these gross sounds coming out of her all the time. Oh, man. And then every time she would make a gross sound, like she would just like go, the baby, like the baby made that sound. One time, okay, she had farted. Okay, we were at Lily's restaurant on 2nd Avenue. Poor Lily. Because it was loud. People left. Like they were just, she left, like it wasn't like a nice lady fart, you know what I mean? It was like, okay, you know when your dad takes you fishing, right? Remember when you were younger, your dad would take you fishing, he would get you in the boat, he'd get you in the middle of the lake, right? And he would just let her, where the whole boat would just vibrate, it would just like a...
Awesome. I have watched that 5 or 6 times today, and I know there's a little bit more to that video. It's awesome. Thank you very much for joining us, Rick.
Oh, thank you. You know what's funny about that is when I used to go on tour with comedians, we'd always challenge each other, and one of the challenges was come up with a fart joke, because fart jokes don't work apparently. Everybody says you can't do fart jokes. People don't like fart jokes. And I was challenged by other comedians to come up with a fart joke. So that's what I came up with at the time. So it was a lot of fun to watch that one.
Love it. Love having you a part of our KINZ and KLOMP podcast, Rick.
Thank you.
You're a busy guy. Speaking of comedy, you just wrapped up a virtual comedy stint just a few moments before hopping on here with us.
Yeah, I got to do a little virtual comedy show for the students at Northern College. So I think your son was there.
He was good. Was he awake?
I don't know. I think so. I think I saw his name. I don't know.
He's probably laughing at Rick's jokes. He never laughs at mine, but he keeps telling me how funny Rick is. They're like, what about your dad? No, that's awesome. Like Rick has, you're a man like of many hats, right? You know, I know a lot of people know the story about a police constable, leader of the DARE program, a comedian. Is there one specific thing you're passionate about? Because you seem to excel in everything that you're doing.
You know what? I don't think I excel. I just keep doing it. I keep pushing and pushing, and that's what I kind of do. I'm not very like, I'm kind of like jack of all trades for that kind of stuff. I'm not like, I don't find, you watch a comedian like Derek Seguin or those guys, I'm not on their level, right? But the thing I'm most passionate about right now is being coordinator for the Police Foundations program, like trying to motivate the next generation of police officers to be the best police officers that they can be. So that's where my passion is right now. I'm working hard at the college to try to make this program the best that it can be. And that's what my biggest passion is right now.
Now, how do people take you seriously when you were a police officer, you know, pulling people over? Do they say, oh, come on, Rick, you can't be giving me a ticket for speeding. You know, come on, this is just a joke. Do people take you seriously? Like, can you put on the mean Rick Lemieux, face? Or did you come out talking like Batman to write them a ticket?
No, what's funny is I was more of the officer friendly for sure. I remember one time having to get a little really serious at a call, and I raised my voice a little bit to try to, because because I'm really good at diffusing situations, but sometimes it didn't matter, right? So I remember I raised my voice and I tried to control the situation. And when we finished the situation, another officer that was beside me, he said, yeah, Rick, let us do that next time. You just be officer friendly, all right? You don't look good. It doesn't look good on you. You look like ridiculous trying to be all assertive there. So, okay, this would be officer friendly at the calls.
That's right. And one of the things that back to Northern College is if anyone has not seen the brand new like EMS building there, where the Police Foundation students learn, it's just it's top tier, correct? It must be one of the best ones, if not the best one in the province.
It is. I mean, I might be a little biased, I guess, because I'm working here, but it really is. We have, I mean, you could turn this place into a police station with very minimal work. We have a courthouse that we could use for our students and do little things like, we do scenarios. We have an apartment where we can go in and actually do scenarios. And on the top of the apartment, there's a viewing area. So other students can watch while we're doing the scenarios. And there's no better way to learn how to deal with situations than by actually doing it. And what we do is sometimes when the Timmins Police Service have their own office here at the building, when there's an officer here, I'll ask them to come and watch the students while they do their scenarios, and then they give them feedback on what they should have done, what they should have said. And so it's just a great place to be able to learn how to become a police officer. That's for sure.
All right, Kinsman, it was your question.
Oh,
we practiced this.
Okay, all right. When it comes
you guys are so disorganized. I don't know what's going on here.
No. He was looking down at his page. I thought he was going to continue.
He thought he was going to add to the question.
But you strike me, obviously being one to be the. You like to speak, obviously being a comedian, you like to show, instead of sitting in a classroom is great, but you're more hands-on for your students, seeing a lot of, since you've taken over at Northern College, the kids posting videos, you posting videos of, mock scenarios of pulling people over, is it obviously better to learn hands-on? And I'm sure that the students probably appreciate, learning through the likes of you hands-on out, in the parking lot of a Northern College, situation.
This is all stuff that I'm carrying on from the coordinator right before me. Mac Pettigrew was the coordinator here for, I believe, 8 years. And he worked so hard to make the program what it is today. It made it easy for me. I came in now as a full-time professor for the program, and he's got everything in place, and he really helped guide me on what we should be doing here. The students love it. So we always start in class where we'll go over and we'll learn about impaired drivers, we'll learn about traffic stops, and when we finish that, we actually go out and actually do it. So that way they're going to retain a lot more on how to do it if we can actually go out and do it. In classroom, it's great. A lot of people are going to learn, a certain percentage. And then when you go out, they're going to learn even more. It brings them to that higher learning level so that they can remember and can do it safely when they get into the real world, get into the police service, get onto a police service. Because, everybody knows it can be quite dangerous, and you got to do it safe. The biggest thing I think for our students here is I try to implement that, there's a right reason and a wrong reason to become a police officer. And that's what I'm really pushing on them is the right reason, of course, is you want to help. You want to be that person that could help those in need. If you're becoming a police officer because you want to arrest people and kick doors in and all that stuff, which unfortunately sometimes has to happen, but that's not the reason you should be becoming a police officer. You should be becoming a police officer because you want to be that person that could help. You could be that person that could be all the difference in the world to that person who's having the worst day of their life. So that's what I'm trying to get in their heads. Like, become a police officer for the right reasons. And if you don't want to do it for the right reasons, I don't even want you to become a police officer. We need people out there, the policing, that want to do good things. I know we have a couple questions about the DARE program, what you're doing now, but I have to go all over the map here because comedy, okay. Of course, comedy is an interest of mine. And how awesome has it been? I know we're on pause again,
but get back to performing in front of a live audience. So I know you're very involved with Richard Studel shows. Those shows, if you haven't been to one of his shows, like it's all out there, and the comedy that you hear there, and people are just having an amazing time. It's like such a rowdy crowd and a great comedy crowd. But how cool was it to get back to being in front of a live crowd again, performing stand-up comedy?
It was phenomenal. I missed it so much. I did it for many years. I actually got to perform at comedy clubs across Canada. I got to be part of the Crack Up the Capital Comedy Festival in Ottawa, which was a Mike McDonald tribute show. He had just passed away a month earlier. And at the time, I was actually the last comic to go on tour with the great Mike McDonald. A month before he passed away, his last tour was with me as his opening act. And was a good friend of mine. And getting back up on stage was just so much fun. It's my outlet where I can go out and just have so much fun and laugh. And honestly, a lot of times the shows are just for me.
Right.
If I think it's funny, even if nobody's laughing, I go, that's funny, because it's funny to me.
Luckily, though, a lot of the fart jokes will always work.
That's right. You should challenge yourself, Jamie, for your next show that you're going to do. I want you to write a fart joke.
Okay, I will. We'll see if I get at least a couple laughs, and then I'll be ahead of the game. I guess you always have to do one or two once in a while, right? It seems always get a laugh.
It is what it is. People, even adults, like fart jokes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Maybe when the comedy routine is starting to, when you can sense that no one's maybe paying attention, maybe you're on a bit of a dive, you put the fart joke in there, and then everybody's back in there for the rest of your show, right?
Yeah, for years, though, comedians were like, no, don't do fart jokes. Fart jokes are, nobody wants fart jokes. Nobody wants fart jokes. But I tried to work one in anyways. That was the challenge, and that's what I wanted to do.
Maybe it's who's doing the fart jokes, right? Maybe a Rick Lemieux fart joke is better than another person trying to do the fart.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jamie KLOMP, Kinsman.
I was thinking about it.
We still have to be friends. Come on, man.
I know. We got to be friends.
You guys are partners now. You gotta get along. You're partners.
And a good question, Rick, for you with COVID-19 in place with your teaching. Has it changed a lot of the curriculum with COVID in place? Obviously, when you're out there on the beat, are you required to wear masks? How are the students dealing with this, and yourself? When you're doing the in-class training with the COVID-19 situation going on? Well,
as of now, we're doing everything online, with the exception of the emergency patient care, because that has to be hands-on. But they are wearing their masks. They are staying 6 feet apart. But all the other classes right now are online only. And it's just to protect everybody. It is what it is. We're making the best of it. I might be biased a little bit here, but I have the best students. I have the best students in the college. I don't know, maybe. I think I do, though, for real, because they all participate, and it just seems like it's going so well, even online. I think it helped that my first-year students were here for the first semester, so we built quite a good rapport with each other. So now when I'm teaching them online, they are still participating like it's a real class. We're very fortunate at Northern College as well, because we have all the tools that we need to make it the best possible. And we can't do any situations right now. We can't do scenarios. What I've been doing now is I'm giving them written scenarios and getting them to get in that headspace of becoming a police officer, what they would do in those situations. And then they just have to type it out. And that way they could kind of go through their mind of what they would do. So we're not doing the hands-on training, but they're still getting those situations where they can actually, think it through a little bit of how you would react and what you would do in those certain situations.
Not arresting mom or dad. You should throw that into the curriculum.
Oh, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
You can arrest someone in your household, socially distanced, everybody's in your bubble, and put your best video of arresting someone who's doing something wrong. Maybe ate too many of the chips. Left the milk bag empty. Right.
No, every time a dad does a bad dad joke, they get arrested. Jamie would be like,
I'd be arrested
on a daily basis.
Hands down, yes.
Finished.
I would be destroyed. Now, I have a question about the DARE program. So
Sure.
part A is, where do you stand with the DARE program now? And part two, if you heard right before you came on, Kinsman's trying to tell me that pot is going to beat COVID. Is this something we're going to implement into the DARE
I didn't say
program?
it was going to beat COVID. They say it is a good fighter into a strain of the COVID-19. So
For sure thing.
Yes.
You're changing your story because Rick's on here now.
I am. I don't want to get arrested.
No, I'm actually I'm still going to be involved with DARE. I don't know if you know, but I've been a DARE mentor for 12 years now. I've trained new DARE officers across the country. I'm part of the Ontario DARE training team, and we get called to do trainings across Canada, into the States. I've been as far down. I went to Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Oklahoma City to do DARE trainings, and I've been as far up as Iqaluit to do DARE trainings and PEI. And so I'm still going to be involved in doing trainings. And I'm also starting next week. I'm going to be teaching the homeschooled kids here in Timmins. So for now, we'll be virtually. But DARE Timmins is going to partner up with La Ronde for the French homeschooled students, and the Timmins Learning Center for the English speaking homeschooled students. And I'm going to get to keep doing DARE once a week for those students. So I'm still going to be involved a little bit. And in your second question, the whole program has changed so much. Literally the only time in the grade 6 program where we talk about actual drugs is tobacco and alcohol. We don't even mention any of the other drugs. The whole program has changed to include things like, risks versus consequences, being responsible, making your own choices, not following a group, doing what you want to do. So the whole program, we talk to students about how to deal with stress in healthy ways. And they've done studies on this new program, and it's quite effective. The older DARE program, they did studies on it. You can look them up, and you'll see that really didn't have that much of an impact. And again, it's hard to see because it depends who the DARE officer is. It depends how much effort they put into it. There's a lot of things that fall into how it could be successful and how it could not be successful. But the newer program, the DARE Keeping It Real program, REAL stands for Refuse, Explain, Avoid, and Leave. And it's just strategies for students to get out of situations that they're not comfortable in. We talk about how to deal with stress, bullying, being a good citizen. So we don't even touch upon marijuana and stuff. We do talk about health effects of tobacco and alcohol, but all the other stuff is about being a good person, being who you really are, and not changing for anybody else. And I think that's the best advice you can give to any young person. You don't have to follow the group. If you're not comfortable doing something, you have a right to look at them and say, you know what, not for me. I'm just going to go home. And leaving those situations can be very hard at times, for sure. You're in a situation where your friends are doing something that is wrong. It could be difficult, but you can do it. You can say, not for me. And you know what? Even people that are trying to encourage you to do things that you don't want to do, if you stand your ground and say, I'm not going to do it, after a while, they're going to respect you for it. They're going to say, well, you know what? Rick does his own thing, and that's the way it is. I can't change his mind. So that's what the new program is all about, making good choices for yourself and making your own choices and not following the group.
It's very interesting how you mentioned the program itself's evolved, because I remember as a kid going to school, and it probably wasn't DARE, but the message was, kids, drugs are bad, stay away from drugs. Half the kids were thinking, oh, you told me they're bad? That sounds like something fun. But now it's more like the methodology about, being your own person and standing up. So it makes sense, the evolution of the program, because it was a simple message that I remember.
Right. And that's what it was before. It was like, just don't do it. We give you facts and health effects and don't do it. But did that really work? The problem was, at the time, there wasn't enough strategies for young people to say, I don't want to. They kind of, when they were faced with those situations, they were like, I'm stuck. I have to. I don't want them to look at me weird. I don't want people to be upset, with me. So they would kind of follow the group. But we're giving them strategies now on how to be your own person, not follow the group. You just do what you want to do. And if you make mistakes, and everybody does, that's all right. You made a mistake, you own up to it, you learn from it, and then you move on to the next thing. If you learn from your mistakes, that's good. You're You're going to be okay. You are going to make mistakes. Everybody does. And if you learn from it, hey, that's the way to go. You learn from it, you move on, and you keep going.
Now, one of the best accolades that you can take from this, Rick, because when you said you were retiring from the police force to do the teaching at Northern College, everybody thought at the time that Dare was gonna basically stop, and then you get a call from Dare Canada and the higher ups that say, you know what, we need to keep Rick Lemieux on board with Dare. And just getting that phone call to say, "Hey, Rick, you're now going to be able to teach this and continue," must have been a great morning to receive that call.
Yeah, definitely. And basically the reason that because they want me to continue with the training. I'm the senior mentor for all of Canada right now for Dare, and I'm the only bilingual mentor for Dare. So they want to keep me in, but to be a Dare mentor, you have to be teaching the program, which makes sense because how can you train new officers to become Dare officers if you're not doing it? You have to have that experience. So they want you to keep going. There's the homeschoolers are looking forward to participating in the new program. Yeah, I'm excited to start. We start on the 29th. I can't wait to start teaching Dare again. Although it will be online for now, I'm hoping down the road we'll be able to do it like I used to do it. But I'm just doing the homeschooled kids. The program in our local schools will still be run by the Timmins Police Service. They have an amazing new officer for Dare. Constable Ruyal is their new Dare officer, and I could see her being phenomenal at it. So I can't wait to hear stories from her as well, teaching her Dare students in the schools. And I'm hoping I get to be a part of the graduations and stuff like that with her because I'm excited to see what she's going to do with the program.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. When do you find time to sleep?
I'm in bed probably at 10 o'clock every night.
Okay.
So tired at the end of the day.
And you still have time to, put on the Batman suit and, be the Cape Crusader at times. Has that taken a back seat, or are you still doing that, for fun?
I still do that for fun. That's with my brother-in-law and my sister run the Timmins Con here in Timmins.
Okay.
And they're the ones who got me that Batman suit to help out with different events in the community and that. And then on the side, we do birthday parties. And of course, with COVID, things have really slowed down. I've still done a couple where I'd walk by the front of the house and wave to the kids and do that kind of stuff as Batman. Always a good feeling. I just love seeing the kids' reaction when they see that new suit that I have. And if you haven't seen the new suit, man, I don't know if you guys post a photo of it or something. It is phenomenal. It's from the Arkham Knight games. Mm-hmm. And
yes.
Yeah, it's really, really good costume.
Like the real deal.
Like the real deal. Yeah, it's
can you give us
so
the Batman impersonation right here, Rick?
My Batman? Oh, I can't do it because what if the kids are watching? They're going to know that.
That's right. Okay.
All I do is
Santa Claus rule.
All I do is I try to do the Christian Bale thing. Just talk with the super deep. I'm Batman.
Christian Bale was the best Batman in my mind. I know a lot of people say Keaton, but that's awesome.
Yeah, well, you're 40. You're 46. You said.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think it would be Keaton for you, but
yeah.
Michael Keaton is my best known Batman. If someone says who's the best Batman, to me it's Michael Keaton. I think they rumored he's not coming back to play in the
new Flash movie apparently.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the story of when Michael Keaton was at some store or whatever, and a guy was watching Spider-Man 3 or one of the Spider-Man movies there with Tobey Maguire, and Tobey Maguire is bawling in one of the scenes. And Michael Keaton standing next to this guy, and Michael Keaton says to the guy watching Spider-Man cry, he goes, "Batman would never cry." And the guy turns around, and it's Michael Keaton. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope that story's true. I don't even know if it's true or not, but I read that online.
So Rick holds about 9 or 10 positions in the city, big-time positions, still gets to bed at 10 o'clock. He's got some magic working for him, I guess, Kinsman.
Yeah,
we have to figure this out. I follow. I'm wiped out just doing this one thing, and he's doing like 6 or 7 things. I can't believe it.
What do they say? The jack of all trades, and he's the master of all of them. Rick Lemieux.
Yeah.
You even do, movies or, I guess bit parts in TV shows. Can you take us through your last show? What can we, maybe we're binge watching during, COVID. Where can we find you on Netflix? Are you on Netflix or is it on series?
No, I'm on. Well, you blink and you miss it. I'm just in the background. I was on Cardinal. Great show. And I did an episode of Carter. I don't know if you've ever seen Carter. It's a good TV show too. Both filmed in North Bay. But yeah, it's basically somebody sent me a link. They were looking for somebody to play a police officer. They said it was funny because it said looking for someone to play a police officer, age 35. And I said, well, that's not me. I'm never going to get that part. But I did. I actually got it, and then I got to go. And what was funny is I put the uniform on, and I sit down, and the lady for makeup and all that, she says, "Man, you already look like a cop." I am. So there you go. It works out good.
Typecast it again, eh?
So what if she said you did look like a cop, right? Thankfully, she went that route to make you feel a little bit more at ease, right?
And then the way I was standing with holding onto my vest and doing the other actors, when they found out I was a cop, they were standing next to me. They're asking me all these questions about policing for real and how would I react to this and how would I do this? And I'm like, oh, all right. So I'm like, hey, maybe I'll get another job as a consultant on Carter. That would be awesome.
Are you using a real gun? Do they tell you to put you go there with your like real full belt with the gun and the cop suit set, or they tell you to take that away?
Yeah, no, I don't bring any of that stuff. They have it all on set.
Okay.
And it's not real guns, of course, but they kind of look real. So you have to, when they give it to you, you get on set. As soon as you get off set, there's somebody coming, taking it from you just because it does look real. And it was a lot of fun. And then I filmed this one scene on Carter with the main actors. And I thought, okay, I'm going to be in it a little bit here. I'm standing at the door and they totally cut that whole scene out. And I'm like, I'm watching the episode. Oh, this is it. This is it. No, that's not it. I'm just there in the background. You can barely see me. All right, that's okay.
Hey,
so it's just a fun experience.
Bit parts are better than no parts, and even nicer to be asked to be a part of. You can always say you're always going to be in the credits no matter what. It's like the guy who. Even the little minor parts in Hollywood, the guy who airbrushes someone's face, they're the cast, and you're a little, say, Rick Lemieux bit parts. You're a superstar. Do they pay you the big bucks when you're on set for that?
You get paid, but not big bucks.
Yeah.
What do they say? Use your lunch voucher at go buy a sub down the street.
You know what? The best part about the whole experience was the food. Oh my
catering.
God. The catering, for real. It's like there's so much food. I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I love food.
Wouldn't be able to fit into your police suit when you come back to Timmins after filming.
Yeah, it was fun. I only did 3 days on Cardinal, and I did a week on Carter.
Oh wow,
so, a lot of fun. I would definitely do it again, and if I had an opportunity, of course, I'd do it again.
All right. Well, Kinsman, Rick Lemieux is a very busy guy. We already heard about if you're looking for a job in Timmins, then maybe Rick will give you one of his, but he's busy all the time. Thank you. We love you, Rick. And I know that the biggest, I give Rick a lot of compliments, but the biggest one I can give him is that my son got through high school. We got him through, but now, Rick and his teaching has made him passionate about education. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest compliment. Thank you so much. So that's,
you're welcome.
And that's just so I know all the hard work you folks are doing at the college, but we really appreciate you coming on. We could probably have you on for 6 or 7 episodes in a row with all the stories that you have, but we really do appreciate this time.
Anytime.
Once again,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say, with all the work in the DARE program here in the city, it's great to see that your light will still shine for those who look up to that type of leadership, and knowing that you're still holding the baton, even though you're now off the beat, but still able to teach it here in the city, and really across Canada for that matter.
Say that again. Sorry.
I said right across Canada, for that matter, because you are the bilingual teacher. I'm going to say North America, right? You're the DARE correspondent, and it's great to see that they've, they see how awesome Rick Lemieux is, and teaching.
Yeah, I love training the new DARE officers. I love training them. We actually, believe it or not, we send officers home if we don't think they're going to be able to do a good job with the program. We deselect them, we say, but it's basically saying you're not going to do this program.
Tough process.
We just got to do it properly because, we want the right people in the schools. But thanks for letting me be on the show. I love what you guys do. Jamie, I love your videos, man. I discovered them, I don't know how long ago now, but the one where you were downtown Timmins, and that's the first time I saw you. And I thought, oh my God, this guy's hilarious. So that was great.
It's a work in progress, and now Mark and I are doing a bunch together, and he brings his humor to the show. So, we're having a lot of fun with this. We appreciate you watching, but thanks for coming on. We want to have you on again, like real soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Rick.
See you guys.
How awesome is Rick Lemieux?
So amazing. When you think the Smile Cookie, you think the Smile Cookie and the DARE program, because that's where the proceeds go. And it's great to see that Rick will continue, carrying the torch for as long as he can carry it here, not only in Timmins, but right across the country and in North America. See right there, right? He's just showing us right there, because I'm terrible in the Francais. He can speak French and English. He is now the correspondent for the bilingual side because he can speak the other language.
Can you count to 10 in French?
How is it? Thank you, my little guy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I right? No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
Can you go higher than 10?
No. What's 17 in French?
I think it's 17. I don't want to say 17.
Is 31 31?
31.
31.
31.
How do we live in a bilingual community, me and you? We're totally lost.
We just got by. And the funny part is my two little guys, 5 and soon to be 3, are both bilingual. They've picked up the tongue and can speak. They know to speak English just to me. And then they're making fun of me, or, I'm getting scalded, if it's a family gathering somewhere, they all speak French and I get that stare. Right?
There we go.
What did I do now? Right.
So Nova compliment for Rick Lemieux. She's not talking about me or you, Kinsman, so don't get excited. Rick is really awesome with the heart. And, my friend Fabio. Hey, how do I say that? Salados.
Salados?
Hey, Fabio.
Where's Fabio calling in from?
I believe he's in Canada now. Where are you from, Fabio? We'll see if we can get him to comment.
Thanks for tuning in, Fabio.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Getting comments from all over the country. I know, BC last week.
That's right.
On the East Coast, the West Coast, people down in the States. It's just amazing how slowly we're penetrating across here.
Right, and now we're going to move quickly over to a guy that lives right behind Gillies Lake. We're going to make that trip. It's our friend Mitchell. Do we call him Mitch or Mitchell?
Let's call him Mitch. Is probably the more normal way. I don't go up to too many Mitchells and say Mitchell. It's always Mitch.
I know him as Mitchell.L.Wilson. Do you know him as that?
That's his the email account, right? There he is.
Yeah, that is the email account, which was a terrible idea. It was a decade ago I've decided to make that, and the lowercase L looks like an I. So the amount of times I've had to reiterate, hey, did you get my email? No, I did not. Oh, well, is it Mitchell.I.Wilson? No, it's .L. Again, if we could go back to 2010. But now if I made an email nowadays, it would have to be mitchell.l.wilson27448@gmail.com. We don't want to do that. I like my legacy email.
There we go. So Fabio, he's from Colombia, but he's living in Toronto.
Okay, Toronto. And welcome back to Toronto there, Fabio. And thanks for tuning in.
And Salados is okay.
So Salados is okay. So we're saying it okay, Fabio? Yes?
it looks like it. Okay, so Mitch, I understand that you've been busy the last day or two since the last show. You might have done a little touring of Timmins. Is this true?
Well, I'm always doing touring of Timmins no matter what. But this time I decided to put it on video, which was actually a bigger climb than you think. Having worked with the audio format for so long, the video step is a lot. It goes from an MP3 file on this is inside baseball, but MP3 file on your computer, it can just bat it like you're tossing underhand or whatever. As soon as you start throwing video into the mix, your computer starts seizing up like it's Y2K. Oh man. So I was dealing with that today. So we may or may not have audio problems. We shall see.
All right.
My clip.
I got it loaded up to you, my friend.
And let me know, scream into my ear if you can't hear this. No, there we go.
This is in real time too, right, Matt?
I don't hear anything yet.
No, I don't hear anything. So I think we're going to have to narrate this.
We are gonna have to narrate it. Okay, so let's just make sure that I'm not on the side here. Why don't you just give us a full screen and I can read off my notes here.
Okay.
So this is I was just making some comments about how great that head frame looks from that particular road, which I don't remember what road that is, to be honest with you. I'm not a Timmins expert yet, but I'm working on it. Because I come from Eastern Ontario, which really is a lovely place in and of itself. I could do like videos like this on there for another 1,000 hours. But even then, I was 18. I didn't have that kind of introspection. I was going to go do something cool, right? Like big city, the things, like dreams that I still didn't give up on. They brought me here to Timmins for broadcasting just over a year ago. And so you'd think there would be some dissatisfaction in coming to this northern town, population 40-some thousand, when you had that notion of the big, large city life. But there's a gap there, right? In between, I lived in downtown Ottawa for a bit, and there was like this giant ecosystem around me. But I still found myself kind of interested in my backyard. You'll notice here the video speed. That's not me going up to like 120 in the Civic. This is just me speeding forward the video because you guys kind of get it.
Let me ask you a question, Mitch.
Yeah, of course. What's that?
Is this you driving with a dash cam or what's happening here?
I needed to pick that up too. I tried to like shove my iPhone in between the windshield and the dash. That didn't really work that well.
I noticed at the stop sign you came to a full stop. You're lucky because Rick Lemieux has a lot of pull still on the Timmins police force. So you're lucky you did a stop there because guilty right there, man. It's on video.
Well, hey, if he ever sees my Honda Civic, he can pull me over just to say hi. That's fine with me.
Here comes the
Am I going to make the full stop? Is that a full stop? Now, is that a full stop?
That's a 90%.
Okay. All right.
A roll stop. Can I tell you a stop sign?
Is it a roll stop or is it was at 200%? Come on, give me a little bit.
Hey, Mitch, did you hear the one? A buddy of mine back in high school going for their license. They said, do you have any tips going in to get my license? This was back when G1 and G2 were a thing, and she was going for her G1. And I said, the stop signs with the white border are optional. As a joke, I didn't think she'd take it literally. She actually went and did her driving test and blew through the stop signs because she thought the white borders were optional, that you could do a roll stop, and that's how she failed.
Oh, no, this is why you always have to ask questions. Whenever someone tells you something, like I think Rick told the story about Michael Keaton there. I want to believe that story too. But, it's always good to throw that caveat in if you didn't watch it happen yourself, to be like, hey, well, mate, it could also not be true.
All right. So what are you up to here, Mitch? So you're driving down. This is Gold Mine Road. This is what we call the back road, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the back road, and we'll circle around to that. But basically, the whole point of this little essay that I put together here, which we unfortunately can't hear, in part due to technical issues, in part due to my last minute uploading, like a typical millennial. This is just my favorite way to go over to Jamie's place.
Right. So
I had to go over to Sopo, right?
At the end of this video, am I going to see you staring through my bay window at 1:30 in the morning?
I actually took Ranger for a walk. You didn't even know.
The porcupine night stalker.
Who are you following there? Do you know?
I have no idea. It's probably for the best that this camera. How awful is my camera? Like, really? Jamie and I were talking about this. I got an iPhone 5S, which is vintage technology at this point.
I've got an iPhone 8.
Yeah, the iPhone 8. That's a pretty nice. I'd trade. You want to trade, Mark?
I'm about to trade mine up. I think I need to go to the iPhone 11 next.
Boom, here we go. Here's the turn that makes the difference. Here's the spot that I wanted to showcase, and I guess I mean, hey, I've got a longer piece thing. We can post this as a video proper when we get the chance. But my whole point, without looking at my notes here, is kind of just I grew up in I never ended up going to Disney World or anything like that. You guys do that when you were a kid?
Yes.
Haven't been.
Haven't been. Okay, so Mark, you and I are in the same boat, and I'd go and what? This is at 300% now. I think I really look at this turn. Shoop! Looks like I just Anyways, I never ended up going to Disney World or anything like as a kid. And then all these kids be saying these speeches and stuff like that when you did your annual speech in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always be a little bit jealous, right? But at the meantime, we didn't do nothing. We don't bring me back. Don't bring me back. We're not done yet. Wait, throw the video back up.
There we go.
So you can keep us up now. But no. I never did nothing like that. And for a bit, I was a little bit resentful. Wait,
hold on a sec. What are you doing here? You got out of the car now?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I'm just going to a nice spot.
Is this called a regular weekday for you, or what?
It's kind of no. It's an introspective moment. Again, the essay that goes along with it a little bit more poignant than my Cole's notes here. But the point is that I did go on vacation every year with my family. It was just to a place just to the east of Pembroke, on the way back on the 17 called Westmeath, and met a lot of friends there, like lifelong friends, because we went there every year for 17 years, as well as a little place in Westport, very different place. And various other places in and around the Ottawa Valley. And I think even though I never made it to Disney World, I really learned to appreciate the world around me, even though it was kind of a little bit subconscious. It was always in the back of my mind. It wasn't really explicit, but through that, I've had a lot of time here, especially on my own here in Timmins, learning a new city, and I got to appreciate it. And you'll see here, this is my certified dart smoking spot of the week. Hang on, we do a little cringy turnaround because I couldn't figure out how to do the thing yet.
You're a
dart smoking spot of the week.
Is bad, Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch is a real role model for our community, but I can tell you right now where you're at is nothing like Disney World. Even though I got is that the end of the video?
No, it's better. There's no lines. It's just me there, and actually, I recommend it more in summer. But yeah, there's a neat little look out there. Yeah, it's the end of the video, but bit more narration. It's this neat little spot. There's an old road that gets kind of covered by the swamp in the spring and the summer, especially when the water's higher. And so you just see this road disappear, and that's what I'm looking out over top on the cliff there. And just a really nice spot if you want to stop by for some introspection sometime, or even just maybe you're having a bad day. And I quoted Trace Atkins in there from his song "Take a Back Road." And it's about taking a back road. Maybe not take the 101 every time if you got a couple extra minutes. It's good for the soul.
Let me ask you a question. As you go up that back road, now you're heading home back to Timmins because you live by Gillies Lake. Are you going through my downtown in South Porcupine, or are you just zipping on back to Timmins?
Oh, no. I always go through, and there's actually like in Porcupine, you go through right along what's the big barn right as you come in off Gold Mine Road? What's that called? Please help me out.
The barn?
Is it called the barn? It's right by the what's it called?
It's the arena.
Yeah.
The main arena.
The arena. Okay. Well, I wasn't sure if there was more than one. I know I was talking to Al, our former colleague, Mark, and he told me about all the rinks in town. He's like, yeah, there's like 12 of them. I know it's more like 5, but still, it's way too many for me to keep track of. So yeah, that barn right there, right on the right when you come in off Gold Mine Road. And then if you just take any of the rights there, you reach some dead end roads, but man, oh man, is that ever a view out there? Another spot that'll take us to eventually if we have any interest in me documenting the interesting little spots in Timmins. I walked around Porcupine Lake the other week, and that was some sort of adventure because I thought it would just be a path. It turns out you actually have to saunter through all of Porcupine once you get halfway through.
So Danielle says that was out towards the Honor. Am I saying that right? Property?
The Honor property?
And she lived there for 2 years as a kid. So someone recognizes your secret seclusion smoking spot there.
Oh, no, it's not secret or secluded. I made sure to point out, especially in the essay, it's like, it's not like, no, everyone's been down Gold Mine Road. Like, my goodness. It's a thing everyone does, but it's about more stopping and smelling whatever.
No, it's good, man.
It was more poignant in the essay. I promise.
For the butts there in the summertime, she'd be like, "Who are all these butts?" Oh, that's right, it's Mitch.
Yeah. I try to shove him on the front of the car. My mom's gonna be watching this, so we can just
now. let's ask Brad, who's tuning in for Vancouver, where they have no snow out there right now.
I don't think they
A
ever
lot
have
of beautiful places to go, but what would be better if you're driving to your smoking spot, a nice drive during a beautiful winter scenic road like Mitch did, or walking down a road that's just path, trees, and greens like in BC? I'm thinking a winter fresh is kind of nice. Is it
Winter
not?
fresh is really nice in the car, I will say. It's got a certain novelty when you're on foot, but you can only go so far so fast, and that novelty really runs out when the minus 17 starts ripping on your knuckles. So I would say BC, but not because I'm not like if I could choose, I would choose Timmins, but with that all the time, and then I say that, and the winter wonderland I was driving through today wouldn't exist. So it's be careful what you wish for at the end of the day. And I think that's how I ended that off. You know, it's about appreciating the day. It might not be the best day, but you can always take that back road.
That was pretty awesome. Let me ask you a question, Mitch. So if we go head to head in a trivia battle, millennial versus generation, what are we, X's?
Generation
you're Gen X.
X's?
He's Y.
Who's winning? Who's winning? The know-it-all millennials or the smart, intelligent X's?
I'm going to say the smart, intelligent X's will know.
I'm also going to go with that, because although we are full of ourselves, full of information, we got memes. Remember we did the meme gallery the other night and you guys were scratching your head like, What is this? Yeah, we got those. But in terms of practical, active information, we grew up in the internet age, man. We just scroll through our phones.
Right. Okay, so Kinsman, why don't you tell them all once again what's coming up on our next show Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Join us right here again on our YouTube channel. Go subscribe to it so you don't miss it. It's a trivia night, the KINZ and KLOMP trivia night. And at first we were doing Timmins trivia, but then we picked up some sponsors from Hearst. So we've expanded it to Timmins and surrounding community. And some of those sponsors from Hearst, Typers Bait and Tackle, Christelle in Hearst, who just might be voicing one of the questions on Trivia Night Thursday. So I'll have to wait and find out. They've donated two $50 gift certificates, so $100 from Typers up on Front Street in Hearst, Real Distillery in Hearst, also donating a $45 bottle of your choice of Loon vodka or their flavored liqueurs. And might as well go through the rest of the prize list here. We've got Elite Geeks, three $50 entertainment pack, gift packs. So $150 from Elite Geeks and Chad Dubanow here. Spoiled Rotten, Melissa LaMarche donating $100 for a gift certificate at Spoiled Rotten. Radical Gardens, Brianna Humphrey is donating $100 for Radical Gardens. Bermuda Tan, Gail is also going to donate $120. It's a 1-month gold tanning pass. And Siva's wants you to go try the new Burger Planet. So $25 from Siva. The man, we were saying Rick never sleeps. I don't think Siva ever sleeps. That man is so busy, but he's never busy enough to, support. And he's tossing out a $25 gift card for Thursday night.
Awesome. Well, there it is. So that's our next show.
I'm going to have to take Goldmine Road over to Jamie's place. I think we're doing a team effort, right?
Yeah, take it over to my house, but I'm going to look out the bay window tonight, and if I see Mitch have a new smoking spot on the corner of on New Street where I am, who knows? We may have
call that you just doxed yourself, Jamie. Now you're going to get the legions of fans. All 12 viewers going to be showing up at your place tonight.
There we go. Okay, guys, we'll see you Thursday night.
All right, Thursday night for trivia. We'll see ya.